All of Beverly Hills was a desert. No one would come here. So Rodeo started as really a sleepy little local street with horses and little buildings, and it was a neighborhood. Mama Weiss's Hungarian restaurant was in a little house that was on the corner of where now gigantic luxury brands are sold. So it was a different kind of neighborhood. You could ride your horses up the street. You could buy your toys there. There was a hardware store. You could even buy saddles. But it was a local kind of a place, a drugstore. Then the big change happened about 50 years ago, when a sleepy little local street became an international icon and a brand that's known throughout the world for luxury items.
This three-block magic that you see here today was the brainchild of a genius of a man by the name of Mr. Fred Heyman. He was dubbed a few years later as the father of Rodeo Drive, and he had a vision. He came to a place where there were no luxury stores, no retail stores, and he opened the very first high-end fashion boutique called Giorgio's.
When my father opened the store here on Rodeo Drive in 1976, he said, I'm going to open the most expensive, most high quality, most beautiful men's clothing store in the world, but you can't come in because we're by appointment only. And at that time, the only people that had appointments were lawyers and doctors. You would have to make an appointment to go see them. So to open a clothing store on Rodeo Drive and say you can't come in, you have to make an appointment first, was very unusual. But that's what allowed us to be so successful for so many decades, because when people are shopping with us, they expect a certain level of service and a certain level of attention that we are able to give them only by appointment.
The way I think of the big change on Rodeo is when the labels went from being inside your clothes to outside your clothes. It wasn't enough to have the finest, you had to let everybody know you had the finest. At that point, the street became a brand and less of a neighborhood.